Isaiah chapter 55 verse 3 says this, "I will renew with you the everlasting covenant, the benefits assured to David." Isaiah is reminding the Israelites that once they return to the promised land and the temple, that their suffering isn't necessarily over. They are still awaiting the Messiah who will come and save them permanently. See, in the Messiah, the Israelites were looking for a warrior to defeat their enemies and a great king who would unite the kingdoms as David did. The Messiah also had to be in David's bloodline. Now, looking back with the fullness of truth, we see perfectly how Jesus fulfilled these qualifications. But at the time, it wasn't so easy. While Jesus is in David's bloodline through his foster father Joseph, he wasn't rich or from a noble family, so he wasn't anywhere near an earthly king. And in terms of a warrior, Jesus was nonviolent and never carried a weapon. So you can see how hard it was to convince people he was the Messiah. Now, as I said, now we have the fullness of truth. We know that Jesus is the long-awaited Messiah, and he did fulfill the prophecies. When we think of Jesus as a warrior, who is the real enemy to fight against? During the time of Isaiah and his students, it would have been the Babylonians. At the time of Moses, it was the Egyptians. During the time of Jesus, it was the Romans. See, these earthly enemies are not that bad because they all have and had an expiration date. Egypt is no longer ruled by a pharaoh, the Roman Empire is long dead, and every other monarch and emperor have seen their final days sooner rather than later. These are not the enemies the Messiah came to fight, because if there's anything humans are good at, it's killing ourselves off. Now, the real enemy is the devil and the other fallen angels. See, Jesus beat them with both hands nailed to a tree, so to speak, when he conquered death. The devil lost, and he still isn't over it. Obviously, the kingdom of God is the kingdom Jesus is ruler of, and he rules with love and mercy. Christ's passion, death, and triumphant resurrection is the everlasting covenant Isaiah is preparing the people for. Christ's passion, death, and triumphant resurrection is the everlasting covenant that Lent is preparing us for.